Hello, so today we're gonna make jewelry rice. Jewelry rice is a Persian cuisine. So the ingredients are some chicken, usually some kind of meat is served with the rice. Here is my rice. So I've soaked the rice maybe for like 3 to 4 hours. And here is the whole reason that this dish is called jewelry rice, because each of these ingredients are like a piece of jewel. And these are my seasoning I'm gonna add to the chicken. So let's get started. So, the seasonings that I am using for the chicken are turmeric, some salt, cumin pepper, cumin powder, saffron, and black pepper. I'm gonna add all of them to the chicken. Okay. You can also use your hands, but I prefer not to. And then meanwhile, what I have here is a pan coated with oil. I'm gonna actually turn it on. Okay. And also, this is my my water for the rice. So I already turned it on because when I add the rice, it needs to be boiling. I have 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, add this to it. So the reason that I add the garlic is that I want my oil to taste like garlic. So if the chicken has some sort of like unpleasant taste or smell, this garlic would help it to kind of reduce that smell. And then later on I'm going to grab these garlics and just take them out of the pan, because if I leave them there then they will burn and it would be unpleasant. So here's the chicken. Okay. Now we can lower the heat. And you can put the lid on. So it will cook a little and then I'll cook them. Okay, so it seems like my water is boiling for the rice, almost. So here is my rice. I soaked this for like 3 to 4 hours. You need to soak it with some salt. In this way it will cook better. This is the stuff that my mom taught me, so I do that all the time. So I will drain some of the water. Okay, that's all the rice, but I will put the rest of them in almost boiling water. So this is how Persians cook rice for special occasions. It's usually not the everyday thing, but if you want the rice, so in Persian culture, the rice that sticks together is not a good rice. So for example, the rice that you have for sushi is definitely not a good rice in our culture. So we want the rice to be kind of like, the seeds we want it to be separated and not like clumps. So now I'm going to flip my chicken. You can see it has a beautiful color, and the color is because of saffron. Okay, so we're in that step that we need to take the garlic out. As you can see, ours is almost burned, so we don't want that. And the chicken, the outside is cooked right now, you can see, but I'm pretty sure that the inside is not cooked. So what we need to do is lower the heat. Take the garlic out. Okay, there's no more garlic. And then you can add some onions to it. These are some diced onion that I did dice previously. Okay, so what I'm going to do in order to cook the inside of the chicken is put some onions. Again, onion is like garlic. It will prevent any bad smell that chicken might have. And I'm going to pop the lid on. And maybe 2 to 4, like medium heat, until it cooks perfectly in the middle. Okay, so in this step, the rice is boiling. You can see all over here is boiling, and you can see that the rice has increased in size very much. So you can grab it on your spoon, spatula, whatever you have, and then you would touch one of the rice, and when it breaks, you want to drain it. It should not be completely cooked, so when it has some water, you need to drain it, and then you remove the heat. Okay, and I'm going to drain my rice into a drainer. Okay, and you would run cold water immediately on it to stop the cooking process, because you don't want to overcook your rice, and if you overcook your rice, it will be clumped. So we're gonna assemble our rice. So we have some water in the pot, just as like water, just very little amount, and we're gonna spray some oil on it. You can spray or just simply put some oil on it. Okay, and some sesame. This is not something that we do every day, but since we're making a very glorious dish, we're gonna build the tahdig. Tahdig is basically the base of your rice, which is served, and lots of people love it, including myself. So for our tahdig in Farsi means the bottom of your pan. Basically, the word tahdig means the bottom of your pan. So that's why we're doing this. We will put these potatoes on the bottom. Okay, and we will add more sesame to it. This time, from here, because I want more. Okay, that's good. I love sesame. And then we would grab our rice, and this is the rice that we just drained, and we'll put it on here. Here we go. Okay. So we'll grab this spatula, and then we'll make something like a mountain or a hill on the rice, like this. You don't need to add anything else, but another thing that Persians do, specifically for Persians, is that they will put something like a cloth or towel on top of their pan. Maybe I should make it a bit like this. You can also use towel, like kitchen towel, and then you put the lid on. And the reason that we do this is that it will make a closed system, so the stem of the rice will not get out. And if the stem stays within the pan, everything is going to cook perfectly. There we go. So it is ready now. Okay, so now here is the fun part, because we're going to prepare the decorations and also all the jewels that we're going to put on the rice. So the first thing that we want to do here is some saffron. So saffron is originally like this, but when you grind it, it will become like a very soft powder. You can see that it just turned into a very nice color powder. Okay, and the method that I'm going to use is ice for saffron. So saffron, nobody uses the powder directly. They either put it in hot water, boiling water, or on ice. So my mom told me that this ice on saffron is the most efficient method of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to get all the saffron. And you can see now that the ice is kind of melting, and as the ice melts, the color of saffron will become like such a vibrant color of red, and that's how I will make the yellow rice. I'm going to show you later on. But here is an ingredient. This is a kind of berry. We call this as zeresh. They're very small berries. You can find these in Iranian stores. This particular berry my mom brought from Iran. So I'm going to cook this. So in order to cook this, you don't really have to cook it, but I want to make it fancy and shiny. So that's why I'm going to use some butter. Okay, maybe this much. I'm just getting hot. And then I will add my zeresh. I actually don't know the English name for this, so that's why I refer to it as zeresh. So when I add it, it will become very shiny, and these berries will pop. I mean, not pop like a popcorn, but they'll get bigger. You can see in a minute. These are very sour, so they're like batches of sourness. And in order to kind of balance that sourness, I'm going to add maybe like some sugar, maybe like 1 tablespoon of it. And also another thing that all Iranians have in their house is fried onion. So fried onion, you can see right here. So I'm just going to add a pinch of it to it. And the reason I do this is it just makes it taste better and smell better. More flavor, I'm adding more flavor to it. You can see that these berries are kind of like pooping or like popping. They get bigger. You can see that they get shiny and more like jewelry. And some sugar. The sugar will become caramelized. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some nuts. These are some almonds, sliced almonds, and this is pistachio. So I soaked them for like maybe like 1 hour in some water. You can soak them in rose water if you want. And then I'm gonna have some butter in here. And, you know, butter is the key when it comes to these components, decoration components. So there we go. I'm gonna heat it a little bit. And the reason I soak them in water is it's because they will become soft. So it will be pleasant if you have like a bite of them. It will not be too crunchy. Okay. And then I'm going to get fancy and add some saffron to these almonds because it will make them yellow and it will get very beautiful. Yeah. They will become yellow almonds because of saffron. Okay, and then I'm going to show you my chicken. So this is the chicken that I just left off. You can see that lots of water is coming out of the chicken, and that will be kind of like the broth that we'll use. And here's the update on our rice. We can add the saffron to one side of it because we want that saffron. We want like kind of some part of it to be yellow.